to, especially the office, is not yet ready. So we just managed to organize some few lectures. Okay, and then so we are thankful to the universities, to the deanery office, who work hard to establish this chair, especially the dean, the deputy deans, two of our deputy deans of the Kuliah of Islamic Review, Knowledge and Human Sciences actually come from this department, especially Dr. Noor and also Dr. Aslina. I think they are here now. And then we are still waiting for Dr. Noor Hadi, but I think as for the beginning, as for the to start our program, I think we call upon Associate Professor Dr. Amila to say something about this program. I think he's entering now, Dr. Noor Hadi. But I think Dr. Amila, can you please say something?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastahdihi wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Thank you very much, Professor Wan Mama Azam, Mama Amin, for being the moderator for today. And first of all, I would say that the highest gratitude goes to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and the department, on behalf of the Department of Usuluddin and Comparative Religion, AHAS KIRKHSIAUM. I would say that we are honored to bring to all of you this first monthly lecture, on Hamka, monthly lecture or monthly talk. Of course, here I would like to congratulate the committee members, Professor Dr. Muhammad Azam himself, Dr. Ismail, Dr. Noor, Dr. Haslina, and this is collaboration program with seminar committee of our Department of Usuluddin and Comparative Religion. And then we have here Professor Dr. Tamim Usama, who is the chairman for that seminar committee, and other members. We have Prof. Mumtaz, we have Dr. Mega here. And then I would like to thank Dr. Noor Hadi, okay, who is from UC Darussalam Guntur, for being for accepting our invitation to deliver the first talk on Hamka this morning, and also Brother Zahiruddin from UKM, I believe. So I would like to thank all of you. And then, as mentioned by Professor Dr. Wan Mama Azam, Hamka chair actually is a new chair and has been endorsed by the Senate of this university, in which basically this chair is part under the Department of Usuluddin and Comparative Religion. And inshallah, there will be many activities in which we put in the list. Among others is about this kind of seminar. And what I came to know that after a series of seminar, then we are going even to have international conference, tentatively middle of next year, inshallah. Then we are also welcoming students and academicians who are going to have their interest to do research, okay, but related to Hamka. And then of course, we want to have more publications on him. And because I believe that Hamka does not need any introduction, especially among the Malay scholars, Malay intellectuals, academicians, because you can see that it is said that Hamka left behind more than 100 books and writings. And the magnum opus is about the tafsir Hamka, in which I always refer. So then I believe this is because of the significance of this figure that the university agree, okay, to have a special chair with the name of Hamka. So hopefully we can get cooperation and and then can grow more interest in research. Then today's topic is about spirituality, which is another very important and a topic that has been the interest, especially during these modern days, because we know that being a normal human being, we need this spiritual aspect, especially coming from religion and from Islam. Then Alhamdulillah, so we have here Dr. Nur Hadi, who agreed to deliver a talk or lecture on this spirituality. Hopefully in this talk we can have our discussion later and we can benefit in which maybe from the aspect of application, maybe people from Indonesia know better about Hamka, as well as in addressing some issues that are discussed among the scholars nowadays related to, and because we know Hamka is also considered to be a reformer. He's not only an intellectual, but also a politician and academician and whatnot. So with that, I think this is enough for my remark this morning. So I give back to Professor Wan Muhammad Azam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Associate Prof. Dr. Amila, the head of Usuluddin and Comparative Religion. So I think we go straight away to Dr. Nur Hadi. Nur Hadi is here, and perhaps I will introduce him a little bit. He graduated from our university, from this university, in 1997. 1997. During that time, we are in PJ, Petaling Jaya, and the topic of his thesis, I mean master thesis, was something to do with Hamka and his tasawwuf. I cannot remember because it was too long ago. Yeah? And then, of course, Dr. Nur Hadi went to University of Malaya and then finished his PhD in 2010. 2010, and then now Dr. Nur Hadi is the Deputy Wakil Rector, yeah, University Darussalam, Gontor. So ini Wakil Rektor University Darussalam lah, ya, Dr. Nur Hadi. Before this, he was a director Kulliyatul Banat, University Darussalam, and before that, Wakil Director Kulliyah Muallimin Al-Islamiyah, yeah, Gontor. There are a lot of position that Dr. Nur Hadi has occupied, looking at the CV, his CV. He has written books, mostly the translation, and no need for me to read everything. And he also has written numbers of articles in journal. It is more than, I think, more than 30 or 20. Yeah, 30, I think. I cannot count all. So this is Dr. Nur Hadi Ehsan, and you were given around half an hour. Is it okay? Or 35 minutes to present your ideas, and if you have the slide, then please show the slides, inshallah. So falyatafaddal mashkura Dr. Nur Hadi. Tak dengar. Mana Dr. Nur Hadi?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, adada khalqihi wa ridha nafsihi wa zinata arshihi wa midada kalimatihi. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala abdika wa rasulika Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, wa ba'd. dear honorable my professors in this forum. There's Professor Mumtaz Ali, Professor Tamim Musama, Professor Van Azam, my former supervisor for the thesis in IIUM, and also I see here Professor Megawati Morris. I know you from your works at TISTEC during you being at TISTEC at that time, and there are also many friends here. And actually, I don't know the forum that will fit and will attend by my professor. This is of course. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to me in this time to present talks about Hamka. This is actually I wrote the thesis with Professor Wan Azam at 1997 about the Hamka, study of some aspect of his thought. And actually, at that time, I proposed the chapter of the thesis to Professor Abdul Majid Muhammad Makin, and the title of the thesis was the conception of God in the mystical philosophy of Hamka. At that time, I proposed that chapter, but then Prof. Makin suggested that keep it for your PhD thesis, and now you write this topic, and the topic was given by Professor Makin, Hamka, study of some aspect of his stupid thought. And some days ago, Prof. Wan Azam asked me to whether I'm ready or not to present papers on this topic, and I said because it is the command and the order of the professor. Of course, I told him that I'm ready to do that job, but then I'm not sure. I forgot the exact time and about the presentation, and I was informed yesterday about this forum. Okay, thank you very much. And yes, I want to share the screen. Prof, can I share slide?
Yeah. Admin, please, admin. Can you help Dr. Nurhadi to share the
Dr. Nurhadi now is the co-host. I think you can just share. You just click the share screen, the bottom of the screen.
cannot? Yes, started screen sharing. Oh yeah, we can see now.
Okay, this is thank you. I will begin with the biography of Hamka in terms of chronological order, to the extent that later we can analyze how the spirituality, this dimension of in our religion, can influence Hamka. I think it is Hamka is a very unique figure, unique scholar. He was brought up in the under the parent. His father was reformist, modernist, with the after visiting Egypt at that time in 1906, returning from Egypt and then bringing the spirit of modernization as that proposed by so many reformers of Egypt, for example, like Jamaluddin Al-Afghani, Muhammad Abdul, and so on. And this situation of course, will give their influence to Hamka to the extent that he later, during his career as scholars, also attached to certain organization in Indonesia, that this organization is promoting reformism or reconstruction or reformism, promoting that one, that the name organization is Muhammadiyah. But then later, however, although Muhammadiyah as organization and institution mostly the tendency to respond to spirituality was to some extent negative, but then Hamka, although he was also the part of this organization, but then he has inclination, he has a tendency, and he has this kind of spirituality as Sufism. Okay, I start with the biography of Hamka in terms of chronological order. He was born in 1908, from the parents Haji Abdul Karim Abdullah and Sofia. And then at the age of 6, he was then handed over for his educational development to his grandparent. Hamka's grandparent was Murshid at the time, was Murshid of Tarekat Naqshbandiyah, Sheikh Amrullah. Also, the same thing was then from Hamka's grandparent, Sheikh Tuanku Pariaman. Also, he associated, or he was with the Naqshbandiyah order, that Hamka's ancestors. And then in 1915, enrolled at primary school, but not for a long time. He dropped then for only 2 years, pursuing his knowledge at the elementary school, and then enrolled in Sumatera Tawalik. This is Madrasah Diniyah di Padang at that time, and then also joining the class of at Surau Masjid Education and often visited, but he spent most of his time at the library of Zainuddin Labai Al-Yunusi and Bagindo Sinaro. This is most of the time of Hamka's opportunity at that time was spent for reading, and he loved so much reading. And then in 1924, he departed to Yogyakarta to study to Cokro Aminoto, which is an Indonesian politician at that time, and Ki Bagus Hadikusumo, also Ki Bagus Hadikusumo. This is the chief of the president of Muhammadiyah organization, and Surya Pranoto, Fakhrudin also the same. And then after some time, then he went to Pekalongan to study to his brother-in-law. This is the chronological. And in 1925, Hamka returned to his hometown and co-founded the Padang Panjang branch of Muhammadiyah organization. He involved in organizing and managing the organization like Muhammadiyah, and then establishing Muhammadiyah Tabligh School and published Khatibul Ummah magazine in the age of 17, and then he already involved in national organization of Indonesia at that time, and he also already published the magazine as the product of his tabligh, for example, his ceramah, his talk, and in many sessions at that time. And in 27 performed Hajj, and at that time also, and upon returning from Hajj, he settled at Medan and become teacher at Tebing Tinggi plantation, and writing Pelita Andalas newspaper. He was then become the writer of Pelita Andalas. And in 1928, when he was 19, he published Si Sabaria, already published as publication Sabaria, and becomes the editor of Kemajuan Masyarakat magazine. In 1929, he became the teacher in Padang Panjang, married to Siti Rahmah Siti, and become the editor of Kemajuan Zaman magazine. And at the time, in this age of 21 years old, he already wrote these books. Starting in books Tarikh Sayyidina Abu Bakar, ringkasan tarikh umat Islam, kepentingan melakukan tabligh, adat Minangkabau dan agama Islam, and he wrote also various magazine at that time, Pembela Islam, Seruan Islam, Pemuda Nibas, Bintang Islam, Suara Muhammadiyah. He was the editor of those magazine at that time. It is in 1929. And then in 1930, when there was a Muhammadiyah Congress at Bukit Tinggi, and Hamka became the speaker at the time and talking in front of the conference and the Congress under the title Agama Islam dan Adat Minangkabau. And afterward, he makes a dakwah to many places at Sumatra and Aceh with his father at the time. And in 1931, he became consul of Muhammadiyah in Makassar. And at the time also, when there was Congress of Muhammadiyah, National Congress of Muhammadiyah, the 20th Congress of Muhammadiyah, Hamka was invited to speak at that time also and talking about perkembangan Muhammadiyah ke Sumatra. And in 1932, published novel Laila Majnun, and then become the editor of Al-Mahdi magazine at Makassar. And in 1934, founded and become supervisor of Kuliyatul Mubalighin, since Hamka has the competency, has skill in public speaking at the time. So he owned and established Kuliyatul Mubalighin, as well as publishing works Mati Menanggung Malu. This is novel written by him in 1934. And in 1935, he published a weekly magazine, Pedoman Masyarakat. It is in Medan, Pedoman Masyarakat. Then in 1936, become the chief editor of Pedoman Masyarakat, and then published a novel Di Bawah Lindungan Pak Ka'bah. And starting from this Pedoman Masyarakat, later Hamka published this book, the famous and well-known books entitled Tasawuf Modern. And in 1937, published novel Tenggelamnya Kapal Van der Wijk, and then in 39 published a novel again di dalam lembah kehidupan, Tuan Direktur dijemput mamanya dan keadilan ilahi. And during 1939 to 1940, actually Hamka published 4 books in and related to Sufism, starting with Tasawuf Modern, and then Falsafah Hidup, Lembaga Hidup, and Lembaga Budi. And afterward, in 1942, he published the book in Sufism. It is mostly the history of Sufism, perkembangan tasawuf dari abad ke abad. And then this book republished afterward in many editions, and the title is changed to become Tasawuf, Perkembangan dan Pemurniannya. And then the last book in Sufism of Hamka, entitled Renungan Tasawuf, it was published after the demise of Hamka in 1981. Looking into this biographical sketch of Hamka, then you see, would like to see that how Sufism and how spiritual life, Islamic spiritual life, influenced and colored the life of Hamka. Although, as I mentioned at the beginning, that he was brought up in the family of the father, not the family. I mean, of the father. That was a modernist reformers that tend to reform some and reforming from many things that considered to be bid'ah, to be takhayyul, to be khurafat, and so on. And also Hamka was attached to the organization which the orientation of the organization is not simply preserving the tradition, but this is mostly trying to making to modernize, the organization inclination is to modernization and reformation, reforming the ummah, condition of the ummah at the time. And in this case, then I would like to say that this early education, Hamka's early education, when he was 4 years old, there was a family conflict between his father and his mother, to the extent that Hamka's education then, the father and mother handed the Hamka's education to his grandparent, grandparent, and Hamka loved grandparent more even compared to his own parent. And at the time, this grandparent has as I mentioned at the beginning, that this grandparent is someone belonging to as the mursyid, the mursyid of Tarekat Naqsyabandiyah at Padang Panjang at that time, Syekh Amrullah, and as well as his grandparent, Hamka's grandparent, also Tuanku Pariaman. And in Hamka's family, Hamka has ruled in his family, in his ancestors, that this is a thing which influenced the way of thinking of Hamka. I believe that later he has inclination or his tendency, or he was like in many of his works, he then wrote in Sufism. And the Sufism proposed by Hamka is actually this is the same Sufism as that in the tradition, in the spiritual and intellectual tradition of Islam. That of course it is a Sufism which is in the trend of Ittijah Akhlaqi, Tasawwuf Ittijah Akhlaqi as-Sunni, Ittijah Akhlaqi, the Sunni school of Sufism. As this is then when Hamka published his first work, although the name of the works is entitled like this one, like Tasawwuf Modern, for example. Tasawwuf Modern is the first book of Hamka in Sufism, and it is a very well-known book. And until now, this book is still the edition of the book published for, and there are readers that need to read this book. Tasawwuf Modern is his first book. It was written during 1936 to 1938, and it was the rubric in the magazine of Pedoman, weekly magazine of Pedoman Masyarakat, as was mentioned in the history of Hamka at Medan. This is the works of Hamka, the writing of Hamka at the magazine, weekly magazine. And then after 2 years of publication of this book, then someone asked Hamka to publish these works in the book. And the book then named as Tasawwuf Modern. Actually, what Hamka means by Tasawwuf Modern at that time is Tasawwuf is the Tasawwuf itself, the Tasawwuf that is, say for example, as that the idea, the teaching, the practice done by many Sufis, many authoritative Sufis in our tradition, and that except that the explanation, the elaboration, or the exposition of this Sufism, Hamka used in modern way. So here, Tasawwuf Modern, when it is written in Hamka's preface to the work, to Tasawwuf book, it is the first edition, the preface of the first edition contain this one. Sebetulnya buku ini menerangkan bahagia, tetapi rubrik Yeah. This is the Hamka's explanation about the chapter of this book. Why he wrote the book entitled Tasawuf Modern. This is his explanation. His related to the chapter. Sebetulnya buku ini menerangkan bahagia, tetapi rubrik majalah pedoman masyarakat, ketika itu tasawuf modern telah lebih masyhur sehingga hilang namanya yang asli itu. Meletakkan rubrik tasawuf modern itu pun menjadi bukti bahwasanya kita juga mencintai hidup di dalam tasawuf, yaitu tasawuf yang diartikan dengan kehendak memperbaiki budi dan mensifatkan atau membersihkan batin. Ya, kemudian this is the Sufism which Hamka then adhere to. Dan kita beri keterangan yang modern, except that this explanation, the elaboration there, the description of the teaching of Sufism, that the old or the traditional Sufism then explained in the modern way, meskipun asalnya terdapat dari buku-buku tasawuf juga. Jadi tasawuf modern itu kita maksudkan ialah keterangan ilmu tasawuf yang modern. That what is meant by the modern here in this chapter of the book is the explanation of the book, that the explanation using the modern, say sometimes modern explanation, modern context. This is and this is we can also see from the reference of Tasawuf Modern. Whenever Hamka prepared his article to be published in the Pedoman Masyarakat magazine, it is his explanation. Sebab itu tidak sunyi-sunyinya dari hadapan kita ketika menulis itu kitab-kitab ini, Ihya Ulumuddin, Arba'in fi Usuluddin, Hidayah Minhajul Abidin, and Mau'idatul Mu'minin. Those are the works of Al-Ghazali. Then whenever he prepared or whenever he wrote the article, he consult these works. And Mau'idatul Mu'minin, ringkasan Ihya oleh Jamaluddin Ad-Dimashqi, Tahzibul Akhlaq oleh Ibnu Miskaweh, beberapa risalah dari Ibnu Sina, but he didn't mention what the book of Ibn Sina, Tafsir Muhammad Abduh, Tafsir Al-Manar, Ar-Raddu ala Jahriyin of Jamaluddin Al-Afghani, Khuluqul Karim of Muhammad Jadil Maula. This is four volume of the books by Jadil Maula, Hayatul Muhammad dan Fi Manzil Wahyi, Dr. Hussein Haikal, dan kumpulan majalah Bilal, majalah Al-Azhar, and the works of Al-Mawardi, Adabus Dunya Waddin, Taharatul Qulub, Al-Adarini As-Sufi, Riyadhus Salihin of An-Nawawi, and so many other works that he didn't mention. And in this case, what did he do at the time? Only to say, for example, to observe, to accept, and to combine the views, the ideas of one book to the other books, and one scholar to the other scholar, and then finally he produced and he then wrote and published in the works of Hamka. Here, and then what is actually Sufism mean by Hamka? In that case, this is Hamka's explanation related to the Sufism, modern Sufism. Although modern Sufism, modernity is not in terms of the teaching modern zuhud, say for example, modern tawakkul, modern ridho, modern sabr, which is that kind of modernity in this will be different from that traditional one. That's not the case, but Sufism is the same thing as understood in our tradition. At least dia dengan segala keterangan itu jelaslah maksud kita dengan buku ini. Kita namai tasawuf ialah menuruti maksud tasawuf yang asli, sebagai kata Kinet tadi, yaitu keluar dari budi pekerti yang tercela dan masuk kepada budi pekerti yang terpuji. Al-khuruj min kulli khuluqin daniyin wa dukhul fi kulli khuluqin seniyin. Dengan keterangan modern, that's the modern thing, modern aspect in the Sufism, in Hamka's work, Actually, it is the explanation of the things that can connect it and combine with the context, the situation, the condition of the at that time. Kita tegakkan kembali maksud semula dari tasawuf, yaitu tasawuf itu membersihkan jiwa, mendidik dan mempertinggi derajat budi, menekankan segala kelobaan dan keratisan, memerangi syahwat, terlebih dari keperluan untuk kesentosaan diri. I think this is the Sufism. I think if the Sufism is so there is no difference between whether this Sufism is modern Sufism or traditional Sufism, exact what Hamka means. Yeah. I think this is my presentation, Prof, and hopefully that I will learn from professor and friends in this forum to suggestion or correction or revision or many other things that we need to discuss. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nur Hadi, for the introductions of the Sufism of Hamka, and the chronology of writing is quite detailed as to when the books was written. The books were written by Hamka. I think we will continue with the discussion by our discussant, and then we will put all the question and the discussion at the end of the sessions. Yeah. So the second, the second speaker or the discussant is Ahmad Zahiruddin. I think for the IUM people, the Ahmad Zahiruddin actually was our IIM press, the officer in IIM press, but since he want to accomplish his PhD, I think he is writing the last chapter now, so he has to resign. So in order to have more time on writing, not on publication of the books in IIM press. But anyway, I think most of us know him because he was the key player in IIM press to publish the books. Ahmad Zahiruddin has the master from University Malaya in Akademi Pengajian Melayu. Also, before that, Bachelor of Arts, University Malaya, at the same department. He also has the diploma in Usuluddin and from University Malaya. Yeah? He has written more than 5 books. Banyak nih. He has written more than 5 books, and then it can be bought from Shopee or from Lazada or whatever. Yeah? The first book is Israiliyat, Hadis Maudhu' dan Fitnah Sirah. Yeah? And then number 2, Khurafat Tahyul dan Mistik di Alam Melayu. Bolehkah kita mengubah takdir? The third book. Number 4 is Falsafah dan Isu Semasa. Number 5, Pemikiran Satira dalam Penulisan Dakwah, and many more. He got more than 5, 6 or 7 books, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't list down. And then the working experience beside in IIUMs, he was also in ITBM, Institute Terjemahan Bahasa Melayu, PTS, I think we know, publisher, the publisher PTS. And then he also worked before this in Karya Bistari and many other companies of books publications. At the same time, he was part-time in, before this, UITM, ASIS, UNITAR, and then Open University of Malaysia. So I think Ahmad Zahiruddin will talk something on Hamka and also some problem in publications, how to publish, and how many books of Hamka that has been republished or something like that. And I think Dr. Inshallah, he will get the doctor after this. Zahiruddin will, I think, talk in Malay and mix with English lah, because some of us are international. Okay, falyatafadhal Zahiruddin. Please give your ideas, express your ideas. Okay. Dr. Nur Hadi, can you exit from the presentation?
Yes, already, bro.
Okay. Zahiruddin?
I stopped screen already.
Yeah.
Stopped.
Yeah. Why it cannot? Mana Zahiruddin?
Microphone, Dr. Zahiruddin, your microphone is not on yet.
Not
Mic-
open.
Microphone.
Zahiruddin, your microphone is not on. You know? Need host to unmute.
Okay. Can you listen to me, Prof? Okay. Can you listen to me? Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Innal hamdalillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. First of all, I would like to thank to all of the organizers, especially Hamka Chairs, Deputy Director or Deputy Chairs of the Hamkas Chairs, which Professor Dr. Wan Muhammad Azam, and all the professors and all the lecturers and all the participants in this program. As Prof. Wan said that because almost all the literature in Hamkas will be in Bahasa Indonesia, so I would like to ask the permission to mix my presentation in Bahasa and also English, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, as Prof. Wan said, and thank you to Dr. Nur Hadi for the fruitful presentation about the chronology of the publication of Hamkas books, and also the gist of the meaning of Tasawwuf by Hamka itself, quoted from the modern Tasawwuf. Actually, 2 years back, we have graduated students from ISTEC, which translated Tasawwuf Modern into English. One Aziza, Dr. Aziza Rahmat. And she already sent a manuscript to us, as since previously I I am impressed, but then we cannot proceed because of some technical problem. Maybe this chess can provide some some money to publish that book. Very, very good actually. The first translated manuscript for the Tasawuf modern. Okay. Untuk memulakan perbincangan pada pagi ini, secara ringkasnya, saya nak tarik perhatian para pendengar. Saya pernah cuba untuk membandingkan Hamka dengan Profesor Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi. Profesor Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi pernah menulis satu buku yang bertajuk Thaqafatul Da'iyah, yang beliau nyatakan ada 6 ciri bagi seorang itu untuk menjadi pendakwah yang unggul. Maka beliau datangkan ciri yang pertama, Thaqafatul Da'iyah, iaitu Thaqafah ad-diniyah, penguasaan terhadap ilmu agama yang menyeluruh, termasuk tasawuf. Dan kemudian yang kedua, Thaqafah al-insaniyah, ilmu kemanusiaan. Dan yang ketiga, Thaqafah at-tarikhiyah, iaitu ilmu berkaitan dengan sejarah. Yang seterusnya, Thaqafah al-adabiyah wal-lughawiyah, iaitu ilmu tentang kesusastraan dan bahasa. Dan seterusnya yang kelima, Thaqafah al-ilmiyah, iaitu keilmuan dalam sains. Dan seterusnya, Thaqafah al-waqi'iyah, ilmu-ilmu semasa yang Syekh Dr. Yusuf Qawi maksudkan sebagai Ghazwatul Fiqh Mu'asirah, pertembungan pemikiran semasa. Makanya daripada 6 ciri Thaqafatul Da'iyah ini, kita dapati daripada 100, hampir 120 buah karya Syekh Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi rahimahullah ta'ala, boleh dikatakan karya-karya Hamka berada dalam semua kategori tersebut. Bila kita bahagikan, kita taksimkan, kategorikan, maka 120, the 100 of almost 120 from the Hamka's book has suit for all the category from Thaqafatul Da'iyah. That's very interesting actually. Then mungkin boleh diangkat menjadi satu thesis atau master or PhD, wallahu alam. Jadi apa yang menarik berkaitan dengan penerbitan terkini Profesor Dr. Hamka, perkembangan semasa, pada tahun 2015 dan ke bawah, bahkan di Indonesia pun agak susah untuk dapat karya-karya Hamka. Ini diperakukan sendiri oleh penerbit semasa beliau daripada Indonesia sekarang, Gema Insani dan Republika, yang beberapa tahun kemudian kini semakin giat menerbitkan semua sekali karya beliau, termasuk tafsir Al-Azhar 30 juzuk. Maksudnya diterbitkan dengan begitu sekali drastik lah. Dan hampir semua karya-karya lama itu mula diterbitkan semula. Dan menurut saya jumpa dengan pengurus besar daripada Gema Insani, beliau berkata pada peringkat awal beliau terpaksa datang ke Malaysia untuk dapatkan kopi naskah cetakan rujukan untuk dibawa balik ke sana. Kerana di sana pun walaupun Hamka satu nama besar, tapi satu masa ia semacam tenggelam. Alhamdulillah mutakhir ini semakin banyak wacana-wacana tentang Buya Hamka dan seumpamanya. Baik, beberapa di Malaysia pula perkembangan yang menarik. Paling tidak ada 2 syarikat yang betul-betul memfokuskan untuk menerbitkan semula karya Hamka. Yang pertama PTS, bekas majikan saya, yang mendapat hak cipta rasmi untuk menerbitkan kebanyakan termasuk tafsir Al-Azhar 30 juzuk dan juga pelbagai lagi karya termasuk tasawuf moden yang dirujuk tadi. Ni ada versi yang PTS lah, begini cirinya, dan ada banyak lagi sebenarnya. Dan satu lagi syarikat yang juga minat kepada Hamka dan cuba dan mendapat hak cipta yang rasmi juga daripada penerbit Indonesia adalah Jejak Tarbiyah. Cuma mereka lebih memfokuskan karya-karya yang berbentuk fiction yang berbentuk kita kata kreatif dan seumpamanya. Mereka tidak memfokuskan hal-hal yang lebih berat dan juga lebih ilmiah dan seumpamanya. Baik. Beberapa buku juga, dah banyak sebenarnya, makin banyak buku-buku yang ditulis oleh sarjana-sarjana dan penulis-penulis Indonesia tentang Hamka. Daripada Singapura kita ada Profesor Dr. Khairuddin Al-Junaid yang begitu sekali banyak tega menulis tentang Hamka dalam pelbagai perspektif, tentang reformisme Hamka, tentang cosmopolitanism yang mengaitkan dengan pemikiran Hamka dan seumpamanya. Baik, kemudiannya ada sebuah tesis PhD daripada UM yang kemudian telah diterbitkan sendiri oleh beliau barangkali, iaitu bertajuk Dimensi Tasawuf Hamka daripada Tafsir Al-Azhar. Maksudnya kajian tasawuf yang beliau fokuskan ini semata-mata dimensinya adalah daripada Tafsir Al-Azhar. Dan dalam perbincangan ini memang beliau kaitkan ataupun beliau dalam bab khusus bab yang ke-5, tafsir sufi dalam Tafsir Al-Azhar, beliau membincangkan konsep pemikiran tasawuf Hamka dan kemudian beliau mendatangkan pandangan daripada beberapa ulama sebagai contoh Taftazani dan beberapa lagi ulama-ulama yang memang membincangkan tentang tasawuf, Abdul Halim Mahmud dan seumpamanya, bahawa memang perbincangan dalam tasawuf itu membahagikan dimensi ataupun tasawuf itu kepada dua. Yang pertama tasawuf akhlaki ataupun sunni, dan yang kedua sebagai tasawuf falsafi. Tasawuf akhlaki itu inilah yang menurut pengarang-pengarang termasuklah Dr. Nur Hadi tadi pun menjelaskan daripada karya-karya Hamka sendiri bahawa Hamka tidak terlibat ataupun tidaklah cenderung pada tasawuf yang membincangkan tentang hal-hal yang bersabit dengan falasifah, yang sebagaimana daripada jalur pemikiran yang dibawa oleh Al-Hallaj ataupun Ibn Arabi ataupun Al-Jili, Al-Buni dan seumpamanya. Tapi kecenderungan Hamka lebih kepada tasawuf praktikal, kesolehan sosial antara istilah yang digunakan, kesolehan sosial, iaitu akhlak, membaikan akhlak daripada hati dan keluar. Kalau kita yang masyhur kalau kita kuning itu penawar bagi hati, begitulah konsep tasawufnya ke arah itu, praktikal, dan ini dibuktikan dengan Hamka sendiri mempraktiskan perkara tersebut. Peristiwa yang masyhur bila beliau memaafkan Orde Lama iaitu Bung Karno yang memenjarakan beliau, dan diwasiatkan bahawa beliaulah yang perlu menyolatkan jenazah Bung Karno, dan beliau pergi. Ketika itu sampai orang bertanya kenapakah beliau sanggup sedangkan Bung Karno lah yang memenjarakan beliau, tapi beliau tetap dengan sikap pemaafnya, yakni mempraktiskan apa yang disebutlah. Dan ada satu peristiwa menarik dalam mukaddimah tasawuf moden, ketika dalam penjara itu beliau pernah tulis satu pengalaman bahawa pernah terlintas di hatinya untuk semacam membunuh diri. Beliau tulis. Beliau kata sebab patutlah bila masuk penjara itu benda-benda yang tajam perlu dijauhkan daripada orang yang diintegrate tu, orang yang sedang di soal siasat apa semua tu. Sebab tekanan. Dia kata dia ni daripada kecil anak tok guru besar, orang hormat pada dia, orang sanjung, walaupun orang tak setuju tapi orang tak berani nak kata-kata buruk, orang yang lembut, orang yang berpuisi, bersastra. Tiba-tiba bila ditangkap oleh Orde Lama, dia dihenyak, ditekan, diberi, maka dia kata masa tu memang terlintas, patutlah ada orang sampai fikir nak bunuh diri bila masuk dalam penjara. Tapi dia kata bila dalam jiwa dia tu bertembung antara dua elemen itu, elemen yang tak baik dengan hasanah dan sayyi'ah tu bertembung-tembung, akhirnya dia kata hasanah iman lah yang menang, dia kata. Dan ketika dia dalam penjara kemudian dipindahkan ke rumah sakit ataupun tahanan dalam rumah, kemudiannya penziarah-penziarah yang datang terkejut melihat dia membaca tasawuf moden, buku dia sendiri. Maka mereka bertanya, Pak Hamka membaca buku Pak Hamka sendiri? Dia kata, ya, Hamka sedang menasihati diri Hamka. Maksudnya dengan membaca karya tasawuf moden tu dia mendapat maksud muhasabah diri dia sendiri tentang apa yang berlaku itulah dengan membaca bukunya sendiri. Itu yang menarik. Baik, saya nak pergi sedikit lagi sebelum kita berhenti. Pembahagian tasawuf akhlaki dan memang establish dalam penulisan para sarjana mutakhir ya. Kalau di Indonesia tu cukup banyak dalam bahasa Indonesia makalah-makalah yang membincangkan tentang tasawuf falsafi dan tasawuf akhlaki. Di belah negara Arab juga ulama-ulama besar yang membincangkan tentang ghazwatul fiqh ataupun tentang firqah-firqah yang muncul dalam Islam itu juga ada menyentuhnya secara implisit ataupun eksplisit. Dan yang menariknya lagi, perkara yang sama juga saya dapati dalam pemikiran tasawuf Profesor Dr. Yusuf Al-Qardawi. Bila mana guru kami iaitu Dr. Muhammad Kamil Abdul Majid rahimahullah ta'ala baru meninggal dunia, tesis PhD-nya tentang pemikiran tasawuf Syekh Dr. Yusuf Qardawi yang membincangkan siri buku At-Tariq Ilallah oleh Syekh Dr. Yusuf Qardawi, maka persamaan antara kedua-dua tokoh besar ini cukup signifikan. Antara lain, panutan atau rujukan mereka dalam menulis hal-hal tasawuf ni memang tak lari daripada Al-Ghazali, of course, bahkan mereka sangat terpengaruh dengan Ibn Qayyim Al-Jauziyah rahimahullah ta'ala. Al-Ghazali rahimahullah, Ibn Qayyim dan seumpamanya. Jadi secara kesimpulan Dr. Wan ya, selain pada publication yang semakin banyak, bahkan buku-bukunya diterbitkan kembali, kajian-kajian tesis master PhD pun semakin banyak, bahkan makalah-makalah akademik pun makin banyak tentang Hamka. So secara kesimpulan, saya boleh kata secara peribadilah, saya menganggap Hamka ini sebagai, kalaulah Syekh Dr. Yusuf Qardawi dipanggil sebagai global mufti, maka Hamka mungkin kita boleh sebut sebagai Nusantara mufti, walaupun ada orang tak setuju lah. Ada orang tak setuju, tak mengapa, itu hak masing-masing lah. Cuma dalam konteks Nusantara, bagi saya Hamka adalah mujaddid. Mujaddid dalam arti kata ingin membawa pembaharuan kefahaman terhadap hampir semua sektor ataupun bidang-bidang wacana tentang agama itu dengan tidak membuang semua. Contoh tasawuf tadi, ada setengah aliran tajdid itu mahu membuang semua tentang tasawuf, mengarut semua bagi mereka. Tapi Hamka tidak. Hamka mengekalkan, mempertahankan, tetapi cuba mengembalikan sebagaimana asal kefahaman salafus salih berdasarkan Quran dan Sunnah, kefahaman tentang tasawuf itu, spiritual itu, kerohanian itu, mestilah SOP-nya, KPI-nya adalah Rasulullah dan para sahabat baginda sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wallahu alam. Prof. Jazakumullah khair.
Thank you very much, Brother Ahmad Zahiruddin, for the concise and accurate discussion on Hamka, and this is another point of discussion, yeah. When you compare with Al-Marhum Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi, both of them wrote hundreds of books. If I'm not mistaken, Hamka wrote about 118 or 120 books, but of course Yusuf Qaradawi wrote more than that, 180 or something like that. And then the last work by Al-Qaradawi was Mawsu'ah, yeah? Al-Mawsu'ah, something like that, something like encyclopedia, 1,000 of pages, to collect all his article, all his book in the Mawsu'ah. So with both of them have already discussed on Hamka, I think we will open for the discussion. We will open for the discussion, and yeah, I will open to the floor. You can ask Dr. Nur Hadi or Brother Ahmad Zahiruddin for the clarification or whatever you want to ask. Yeah, please be precise and brief and concise, accurate. Yeah, brief and concise. So I open to the floor. Any questions? How many books? I'm the first one to know. How many books actually Dr. Hamka wrote? Yeah, both of you, Dr. Ahmad Zairuddin and Dr. Nur Hadi. And can you answer it?
No, I don't know exactly what is the number of Hamka's book, but some of the books later after his death of his and publication published out of his public talk, published talk, then transcript and then published also.
Yeah. Some of the book published after his death actually by his son, collect his son and his colleague collect from his writing from Panji Masyarakat, something like that, and compile and publish as book. Some of them like that. So the numbers up to 120 books, but some of the books is mixed and from the different books then mixed together as one book after that. So very.
Who are the main publisher of the books in Malaysia, Dr. Ahmad Zairuddin?
As I mentioned before, two main publisher. First, PTS, and also Jejak Tarbiyah. But PTS, the bigger one, the biggest number, because Jejak Tarbiyah more to publish fiction work of Hamka. But then PTS also already published 30 juzuk of the Tafsir Quran.
Dr. Wan Azam.
Yeah, yes, please.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam warahmatullah. Please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nur Hadi, for giving this presentation. Congratulations. You selected a good topic, and being International Islamic University graduate, you are at the right time, at the right place, and doing the right kind of things. I'm proud of you. Alhamdulillah, you remember us and we remember you. This issue of spirituality is in fact very, very important issue. All over the world, all nations are suffering due to the lack of spiritual foundation of life. Because of that, they have declined even in the area of moral excellence. So this topic of spirituality with reference to great scholar Hamka is timely, and we should have more and more discussion on this topic. I thank you for coming up with this topic and sharing your views. I feel that we need to put the issue of spirituality in its proper perspective. That is, what do I mean? That when we talk about spirituality, it in fact refers to our purpose of creation. So always we have to link spirituality to the purpose of creation of not only human being, the entire universe. So the whole concept of spirituality has to be taken in its proper, broader, comprehensive and holistic perspective. Anyway, your presentation is very useful. I benefited from it, and I hope that in future also you will come up with your topics and you will give in our monthly seminars more and more presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Noor Hadi. Congratulations. May Allah bless you with more knowledge and more wisdom. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, we still invite any questions or any remarks, comments, and so on, because this is quite important topic now in our days, in present days. The spirituality is talk everywhere now. Yeah, we have 62 participants, so I think perhaps a lot of questions, a lot of problem that you want to ask the speakers. You can ask Dr. Nur Hadi or Dr. Ahmad Zahiruddin. Yeah, Zahiruddin is more on publication, books publication. He is an expert. So please, yeah. Or you can write in the. You can write in the what is it? Chat, meeting chat.
Chat box.
Yeah, chat box.
Brother Zahiruddin is in IIUM Press.
Yeah, before
Previously,
this.
Doctor.
Yes?
Previously, Doctor.
Now?
Now I'm a full-time student. Make dua for me to accomplish my thesis in this around the corner.
Assalamualaikum. I want to ask a question. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nur Hadi, as well Dr. Brother Zahiruddin. Inshallah to be doctor soon. In which what I can see from the presentation of Dr. Nur Hadi, if we say that the Sufi can be divided into tasawwuf akhlaqi, tasawwuf falsafi. So maybe we can say then, Hamka's view is on the bringing tasawwuf into tasawwuf akhlaqi. So is that true? And then what is the relationship, or what is the root of Hamka's thought in relation to our modern ethical figures like Muhammad Abdullah Diras and Taha Abdul Rahman in these days, which are also figures in akhlaq. So maybe I can get some point from Dr. Nur Hadi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amila. And related to the issue of two school in Sufism, or two trend in Sufism, Sunni akhlaki Sufism or philosophical Sufism. Actually, Hamka, because although Hamka discuss some point also related to the philosophical issues, as about the issue of Insan Kamil, for example, but he did not deal with the issue in the way as the Sufi philosophers did it. Then far to the extent to discussing about the metaphysical ontological issues in this regard. But then Hamka tried to bring the issue, although it is metaphysical, like Insan Kamil, for example, it is metaphysical issues in Sufism, because Sufis did not deal with the issue in the way as ordinary people do. But then Hamka tried to bring it into the ethical aspect, that if Insan Kamil is so and so, then it will produce a kind of character, ethic or morality, which can be practical for the life of for our today's life, in this modern life. And that the characteristic of certain, the characteristic of person, say for example, the vision, the objective of the life, and those things actually, this is a thing which is beneficial for our life, and it is fruitful for facing the contemporary problem of the life in the way, of course, it is in much more ethical, in the way to bring it to the ethical dimension of Sufism. It is Hamka. Say, for example, when discussing also about the issue of bahagia, sa'ada, so he sometimes deals with the philosophical dimension of the issue, but then not going too far in that case. But this for the purpose of the ethical purpose, for the purpose of ethical purpose. It is Hamka is this is the very specific thing related to Hamka's Sufism. Also, some of Indonesian scholars also categorize him as also practicing, or his way of thinking in Sufism is to some extent is philosophical, but I think it is not true, except that philosophical in term Hamka is literary man. He is sastrawan, ya, karena Hamka seorang sastrawan yang juga senang mengkaji dan membahas persoalan-persoalan berkenaan dengan peradaban dan sastra. Maka kadang-kadang sepertinya dia banyak atau bersinggungan atau deal with the issue, the aesthetic dimension of Sufism. The aesthetic dimension also, it is not a part of the thing which focused by the ethical Sufism. The aesthetic dimension is sometimes also discussed and deal with the philosophical Sufism in the extent that it will discuss the issue to the very to bring it into the metaphysical discussion. I think this is, and related to the scholars. Sorry, the scholars you mentioned, I do not know those two scholars you mentioned, and I'm sorry for that matter. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Brother Zairuddin, can you respond a little bit on this?
I think Dr. Nur Hadi explanation was enough actually.
Huh?
But Dr. Nur Hadi explanation was already enough, Prof. Wan, actually.
Okay, and anyone else want to ask? Because we open this in Malay and also in English.
Or maybe I can add some point, Prof. Wan.
Yeah, please.
Most of Hamka's writing, as mentioned at the beginning of the Tafsir Al-Azhar, the Muqaddimah of the Tafsir Al-Azhar, he always thinking, and the objective of his writing always to the people, to the layman. So when he discussed about what topic, also in the philosophical thought of discussion, he wrote about Plato. Sometimes he quote Aristotle, all the philosophers from the West, but still in the objective to laymen to understand the discussion. So maybe we can say that Hamka know and read and understand about all the tasawwuf philosophy dimension of discussion, but still he choose to wrote just about the tasawwuf akhlaqi for the laymen, for the people to understand and practice, as Dr. Nur Hadi mentioned before. Wallahu a'lam.
Any more? Others? Any remarks? Any questions to be asked? Because both of them seems to be read a lot on Hamka. Yeah, read a lot on Hamka. They know the books, the writing of Hamka and others.
Prof, boleh saya tambahkan sedikit?
Yes, silakan.
Ya, ini sebenarnya Hamka sosok yang menarik dan unik gitu berkenaan dengan tasawuf. Tadi sudah saya singgung juga. Jadi beliau ini lahir dari keluarga, memang latar belakang ke belakang lagi, kakeknya, kakek buyutnya itu adalah mereka hidup sebagai menjalani tradisi sufisme, tetapi bapaknya, ayahnya Hamka itu dia menolak sufisme karena dia sebagai tokoh reformis, pembaharu dan sepulang dari Mesir membawa pemikiran pembaharuan ala Muhammad Abduh dan murid-muridnya di Mesir itu, sehingga kemudian datang ke Indonesia membawa pembaharuan itu, jadi menentang berbagai macam hal-hal yang dianggapnya sebagai bid'ah, khurafat, uzakbalat, takhoyulat, apa dan lain sebagainya. Dan ini terwujud mulai gerakan modern di gerakan kaum muda, itu yang disebut begitu di Padang Panjang, di Padang ketika itu. Nah, Hamka lahir dari sosok orang tua yang semacam demikian, tetapi pendidikan masa kecilnya Hamka ini lebih banyak diwarnai oleh kakeknya, karena orang tuanya Hamka agak keras sekali dan kemudian usia 4 tahun 6 tahun itu bercerai, bapak dengan ibunya bercerai, dan akhirnya Hamka dibesarkan oleh bersama dengan kakek neneknya dan kemudian baru masuk sekolah usia 7 tahun. Saya melihat bahwa yang membuat Hamka itu meskipun di kemudian hari dia terlibat dalam mengurus, memimpin, bahkan juga menjadi pengurus besar di dalam organisasi Muhammadiyah, tapi kecenderungan tasawuf itu tampaknya pengaruh pendidikan masa kanak-kanak itu sangat kuat. Jadi pengaruh dan warna kakek neneknya yang mereka adalah para pengikut tarekat Naqsyabandiyah itu cukup kuat untuk memberikan warna kecenderungan spiritual pada Hamka. Karena pendidikan Hamka di lingkungannya di Padang Panjang ketika itu terjadi konflik antara kaum muda dengan kaum tua yang masih membela dan kemudian mempertahankan sufisme dalam bentuk-bentuknya tarekat dan sebagainya, sementara yang muda itu menghendaki memperbarui itu semuanya, dan kekuatan kaum muda ini lebih dominan. Tapi Hamka tumbuh di lingkungan itu, kemudian ketika pergi ke Jawa pun tahun 24 di Jawa ketemu dengan tokoh utama dan ketua umum pimpinan Muhammadiyah kemudian, jadi Ki Bagus Hadikusumo, terus kemudian ketemu dengan Cokro Aminoto juga dari Sarekat Islam, artinya dengan tokoh-tokoh pergerakan pemikiran modern dalam berpikirnya mereka itu. Kemudian berguru kepada abang iparnya Air Sultan Mansur, dan kemudian kembali lagi dan bergabung dengan organisasi Muhammadiyah. Hanya mungkin tampaknya yang memberikan pengaruh kecenderungan dia ke dalam kehidupan spiritual itu menurut saya dimungkinkan latar belakang dia atau kemudian problem yang dia hadapi saat di suasana seperti itu, ketika harus menulis artikel di jurnal pedoman masyarakat ketika itu, dia editornya dan dia harus setiap hari harus melahirkan tulisan, dan isu yang dibahas adalah konsep tentang bahagia, dan bahagia yang paling mungkin untuk bisa dihadirkan kemudian analisis dan dikaji itu ya konsep-konsep bahagia. Ada dikemukakan konsepnya para filosof, para teolog dan para pakar sastra dan lain sebagainya, tapi tampaknya tradisi yang mengantarkan pembahasan dan pengajian tentang bahagia yang lebih komprehensif, lebih luas dengan fondasinya yang lebih kuat, tampaknya dalam tradisi sufisme, ya dalam karya-karyanya Al-Ghazali yang dirujuk itu, ya Usul, terus kemudian Minhajul Abidin. Nah, disitulah Hamka belum nggak menyebut kimia saada. Saya tidak tahu apakah sebenarnya kimia saada ada di situ atau tidak. Tetapi kemudian bahagia itu dibingkai menjadi topik utama dalam tasawuf modern itu, tapi didekati dengan berbagai persoalan lain, dengan isu-isu yang lain diangkat tentang qanaah, tentang tawakal, tentang sabar, tentang zuhud, tentang ikhlas, dan tentang yang lain-lain. Tapi ini semuanya akhirnya membentuk kerangka pikir Hamka punya kecenderungan spiritual, tapi kecenderungan spiritualnya ini kritis, bukan kecenderungan spiritual yang umumnya orang Indonesia lakukan saat itu. Karena tarekat yang berkembang, tasawuf yang berkembang beberapa di lingkungan orang Indonesia saat itu tasawuf yang berkecenderungan melakukan banyak sekali bid'ah, khurafat, khuzakbalat, takhoyulat dan macam-macam itu. Hamka kritis terhadap ini, maka modernitasnya dia itu kemudian memberikan bekal dan fondasi kepada dia untuk bersikap kritis kepada bentuk-bentuk penyelewengan dari ajaran-ajaran Islam yang kembali kepada Quran dan Sunnah, dan kemudian ajaran-ajaran Islam yang benar. Itu di satu sisi, itu di sisi yang lain dimensi spiritualnya tidak hendak untuk meninggalkan bahwa sisi spiritual itu menjadi penting. Dan saat itu, di tahun-tahun itu, berbicara tentang spiritualitas, berbicara tentang kerohanian, itu menjadi isu yang sangat tidak menarik dan tidak diminati oleh orang ramai, karena mereka euforia dengan modernity. Jadi kalau berbicara tentang tasawuf atau persoalan morality, akhlak, spirituality, itu tidak akan mendapatkan audiens untuk pembacanya. Maka Hamka tetap berbicara tentang spirituality, tentang kerohanian, tentang morality, tentang persoalan-persoalan keagamaannya, tapi kemudian dibungkus dengan menggunakan bahasa, penjelasan, keterangan, ungkapan atau istilah-istilah itu yang disebut tadi dia modernkan itu, penjelasannya, ungkapannya, lalu hubungannya. Maka di situ saat menulis tasawuf modern, ya dia kutip juga Tolstoy, Schopenhauer. Di situ diceritakan tentang misalnya Rockefeller, orang yang paling kaya itu seperti apa. Jadi pembaca menikmati, mereka hidup di zaman sekarang tapi dengan nilai, dengan pijakan, dengan etik dan morality dari khazanah Islam klasik yang otentik, dari sufisme yang otentik itu. Yang saya kira itu, Prof, sekedar tambahan dari saya, Prof.
Terima kasih. Dr. Nur Hadi was talking about the moderate Sufism practiced by Hamka. Yeah? He did not talk about the philosophical thing, even though he knew the philosophy, as mentioned by Ahmad Zairuddin just now. He know about Plato, he know about Socrates, Aristotle, but in his discussion in the Tafsir al-Azhar, he tried to simplify it and try to avoid the Sufism or the philosophical Sufism, which cannot be understood by the layman. Bagaimana hubungan dengan Syekh Ahmad Khatib Nur Hadi? What is the relation with Syekh Ahmad Khatib, who wrote the book Ashumus Al-Lami'ah fi Raddi Ahli Sab'ah? Adakah dia mempunyai hubungan ke darah dengan Syekh Ahmad Khatib ketika itu, ataupun ayahnya?
Hubungan dengan Syekh Ahmad Khatib itu namanya pada kakeknya, Prof. Kakeknya itu yang berhubungan, kakek Amrullah, tuanku Amrullah. Syekh Amrullah itu Syekh Ahmad Khatib itu guru kakeknya Hamka.
Oh, guru kakeknya.
Guru kakeknya Hamka.
The teacher of his uncle.
Iya, karena dia
guru ayahnya juga, Data.
Iya, guru ayahnya juga, ya. Syekh Ahmad Khatib Al-Minangkabawi kan?
Iya.
Bukan Ahmad Khatib Sambasi.
Bukan.
Minangkabawi, Al-Minangkabawi.
Shumus Al-Lami'ah itu.
Shumus Al-Lami'ah, iya.
Itu yang dibawa oleh Ahmad Khatib ketika itu.
Iya, tampaknya saya tidak tahu, Hamka tidak pernah menyebutkan, bahkan nama pun Syekh Ahmad Khatib Minangkabawi dalam karya-karyanya tidak menjadi perhatian untuk Hamka. Bahkan sejarah misalnya tentang orang kakek neneknya yang itu punya latar belakang bertarekat itu juga tidak pernah disebutkan, jarang disebutkan oleh Hamka. Jadi, tapi itu adalah para penulis yang lain yang mengkaji tentang Hamka, bahwa menjelaskan bahwa kakeknya itu seperti bukan pengikut tarekat Naqsabandiyah. Hamka sendiri dalam bertasawuf pun dia tidak bertarekat. Dia tidak bertarekat, tetapi dia bukan berarti kemudian menolak tarekat. Saya ada tulis tentang Hamka's attitude to tarekat itu. Saya tulis tahun 2003, yang itu bagian daripada tesis yang Prof bimbing waktu itu. Hamka's attitude to tarekat. Dia bukan menolak tarekat sebagai institusi yang ada dalam tasawuf, tapi yang dia tolak adalah ajaran, praktek, atau pikiran-pikiran yang salah tentang tarekat itu yang dia tolak. Kalau Karl Steinbrink mengatakan Hamka menolak tarekat, saya bilang bukan menolak secara keseluruhan. Yang ditolak adalah apa saja ajaran, amalan atau pikiran yang tidak sesuai dengan Islam, yang menyalahi Quran dan Sunnah atau praktek Nabi, itu yang Hamka selalu tolak itu.
Okay.
Dr. Wan,
Yeah.
boleh tanya soalan?
Oh, boleh. Okay, please.
Thank you, Professor Wan, for inviting Dr. Nur Hadi and Brother Zahiruddin, Dr. Zahiruddin, insyaAllah. So I would like to ask regarding the novel written by Hamka. He wrote many novels, and this is sometimes people talk about bad thing about writing novel. Novel about we learn. I know just a few novel of him, like Tenggelamnya Kapal, When the Witch, or one more is Director that I read, but other I did not read. So I would like to know regarding the spirituality inside the writing of all novel written by Hamka. Kalau dapatlah ceritakan. Sebab yang pertama tu percintaan, ke ada tak spirituality inside? So we can further study. I think Dr. Nur Hadi maybe know more, and maybe also Dr. Zahiruddin can add further the spiritual dimensions of any novel written by him, and how many novels that Hamka wrote. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. That's all.
Dr. Zahir,
please, Dr.
Okay.
Nur Hadi, please.
oh ya, makasih Dr. Abdul Salam. Mengenai jumlah berapa novel yang Hamka tulis, saya tidak tahu tepatnya berapa, persisnya berapa, tapi banyak karena dia seorang sastrawan dan novelis yang cukup bagus dalam menulis karyanya. Salah satunya ini Tenggelamnya Kapal Van der Wijk, ini salah satu novel Hamka yang membuat dia masuk ke dalam penjara, itu diantaranya gara-gara novel ini. Ketiga novel ini dinilai oleh Pramudia Anantatur, tokoh novelis atau dia sastrawan komunis pada zaman itu, menyebut bahwa ini karya ini adalah plagiarisme dari karyanya Alman Faluti. Itu plagiarisme dari karyanya Alman Faluti, apa tepatnya saya lupa judul tajuknya, tapi dituduh macam itu, seperti itu. Ya, di samping tentu isu yang Hamka pro Malaysia itu yang kemudian menyebabkan Hamka ditahan oleh orang-orang Soekarno itu. Baik, Tenggelamnya Kapal Van der Wijk memang kisah percintaan di situ. Dan beberapa novel yang lain juga ada kasusnya. Hanya kemudian dimensi spiritualnya pada karya-karya novel itu apa ada. Nah ini sekarang tengah diteliti oleh ada mahasiswi saya, postgraduate student, sedang making research, writing research about this spiritual dimension of Hamka's novel itu. Di antaranya dia yang di sini yang sedikit saya ini kan memang tentang misalnya konsep mahabbah. Dalam novel ini ada konsep mahabbah, ada mahabbah, cinta yang dikemuka oleh Hamka dalam ini tampak mencerminkan bahwa itu adalah mahabbah yang memang ada dalam khazanah sufisme, sehingga cinta itu seperti apa, mencintai manusia itu harusnya seperti apa dan mestinya bagaimana. Nah dia kemukakan, dia sampaikan itu bahwa cinta ya bertingkat, ada cinta kepada harta dan kekayaan, cinta kepada keluarga, cinta kepada kemudian anak dan keluarga. Lalu tetap bahwa cinta yang tertinggi itu adalah mahabbatullah, cinta kepada Allah. Nah, maka dalam elaborasi, tapi dia juga tidak menyinggung tentang Aisyah. istilah Isyak tidak dia guna pakai dalam tampaknya dalam karya itu, karena istilah ini sempat menimbulkan pro kon di lingkungan para sufi. Bukan lingkungan para sufi, atau terutama ada kritik yang cukup kuat tentang itu dari Ibnu Taimiyah terhadap Isyak itu. Tapi dia bahwa cinta itu dijelaskan oleh Hamka ada bertingkat-tingkat dan cara mencapainya bagaimana, itu dalam novel ini tampak seperti itu. Jadi ada kecenderungan spiritual dalam mahabbah yang diajarkan para sufi itu tertuang di dalam novel itu, terekspresikan dengan baik dalam dialog, dalam kemudian surat, dalam apa antara dua aktor utama di dalam novel itu yang baru saya. Nah, nanti yang lain-lain ajaran tentang makomat sufiyah apa dan sebagainya. Nah, itu yang akan nanti diteliti oleh mahasiswi saya berkenaan dengan itu. Dari satu tenggelamnya kapal Van der Wijk, kemudian merantau ke Delhi dengan di bawah lindungan Ka'bah. Jadi 3 novel ini yang akan menjadi referensi untuk membangun, merumuskan bagaimana konsep tasawufnya Hamka dalam ketiga novel itu, dimensi tasawuf dalam ketiga novel Hamka tersebut. Itu Dr. Abdul Salam.
Jumlah novelnya lebih kurang 15 karya kreatif. Saya kelaskan karya kreatif. Dalam 15 itu beberapa jodoh adalah antologi cerpen, kumpulan cerpen, himpunan cerpen ya. Ada juga, dan puisi-puisi beliau banyak dimasukkan dalam karya-karya yang banyak itu disisipkan, tapi belum ada yang khas lah. Ada pun yang paling banyak novel lah, dan dia ada juga 2 novel terjemahan, 2 ataupun 3 saya rasa yang terjemahan ya, dan dia terjemah daripada bahasa Arab. Contohnya Magdalena, asalnya karya daripada Perancis, kemudian diterjemah dalam bahasa Arab Mesir ketika itu oleh Lutfi Al-Manfaluti lah, dan kemudian dia terjemahkan ke dalam bahasa Indonesia. Dan persamaan itu memang menjadi perbahasan dan kritikan dalam bidang sastra bandingan ya. Kalau di UIA, antara yang pakar tentang hal itu adalah Dr. adik Profesor Dr. Salihah, Dr. apa?
Adli.
Adli, Dr. Adli ya. Beliau memang ada hantar novel Magdalena tu kepada kami, Majdulin diterjemahkan begitu dan diterbitkan. Dia ada mukaddimah tentang kritikan terhadap Hamka memplagiat itulah. Dan ada pihak membela bahawa benda tu tak betul, dan biasa dalam karya kreatif itu terjadi persamaan, namun tetaplah golongan kiri yang anti Hamka ini berkeras bahawa ia adalah satu bentuk plagiat lah, dan seumpamanya. Wallahu a'lam.
Okay. Any more? Because we still have 5 minutes. 5 minutes more. I also cannot see any comments in the chat box. So I think that's enough lah for today. And that's enough for today. To our first program. And we have more than 60 participants today. Very, very encouraging participation. And hopefully next month we will have again on certain issues, on other issues, but related to Hamkas and related to Usuluddin, related to Kalam, related to Tafsir, and because here Hamkas wrote more than 5 areas mentioned by Brother Ahmad Zairuddin just now. Yeah. Okay. Once again. Yeah.
Mungkin I can add
yes, please.
One point. Nowadays, in my point of view, I see that all the we call it aliran-aliran pemikiran ni cuba untuk klaim bahawa Hamka di pihak mereka. Ada kecenderungan itu sekarang. Contohnya pihak yang cenderung pada Salafi lahirkan karya untuk justify bahawa Hamka bersama mereka. Dan mereka yang aliran Sufi contoh, cuba cari bahan dan justifykan bahawa Hamka sudah berbai'ah dan ikut tarikat sekian-sekian. Ada kecenderungan itu sekarang dalam ialah sosok besar yang hebat ni semua orang nak claim lah. Gitulah lebih kurang. Jadi lebih adil kita pergi kepada karya Hamka sendiri dan faham daripada karya dia lah.
Yeah. So everybody want to claim the merit, merit of Hamka. So, but as Dr. Nur Hadi said, he was brought up by his grandparents who embarked on Sufism, Tariqat Naqshbandiyah, but not his father. So we can understand he accept Sufism, but not all, not philosophical ones. So that is the parameter now. So thank you very much for Dr. Nur Hadi from Gontor, from UNIDA Gontor, who has allocated his time to talk with us today. And inshallah we will invite him again for the next lectures, for next few lectures, and also to Brother Zairuddin, who also participate in this program. And I think it is not too late to congratulate our Datuk Seri Anwar for his appointment as the 10th Prime Minister of Malaysia. So because yesterday, hopefully he will lead the Malaysia to be strong again, politically, economically, and so on. So anything else, Dr. Haslina, Dr. Noor, Dr. Amila?
No, thank you very much, Dr. Wan. Congratulations, and thank you, everyone. Thank you to the presenter.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Tamim, because this is collaboration with the seminar committee. Dr. Tamim is here, is still here. Prof. Tamim, are you here? Or
Okay,
you have
thank you
gone?
very much, Brother Prof. Wan. Since you have called me to say a few words, I think I must congratulate our Dr. Nur Hadi Ihsan for his remarkable presentation, which has benefited a lot, particularly we, the international academics, benefited from his presentation because Hamka is not new to us. We have read about him, but today his talk was very precise and he has condensed many important issues. Inshallah, we look forward to have more presentation by Dr. Nur Hadi Ihsan in the near future. Same thing goes to Brother Zahiruddin Zabiri. You also had made a very good presentation. You put everything in a proper shape. Inshallah, we will have a monthly lecture. Of course, this is organized basically by Hamka chair, but we as seminar committee also will collaborate, and we will have more, inshallah, speakers in the future. Thank you, Dr. Nur Hadi, for your presentation. Thank you, Zahiruddin, for your presentation, would-be doctor. Thank you, Prof. Wan Azam, for your good moderation. Assalamu alaikum.
So thank you very much, Prof. Tamim, and also Associate Prof. Dr. Aslina for giving her remarks here. So by this, I think we end our program today. And once again, we want to thanks Dr. Nur Hadi and Brother Ahmad Zahiruddin for sharing his view in the first program, inshallah. So once again, thank you very much to the participant, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, good.
Thank you very much.
Prof. Tamim.
Yes,
Mashallah,
Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
Good to see you.
Luar
You
biasa.
still
Nice to
look
see
very
you.
young, brother. You
Prof.
look like
Amin
you
ini.
were in
Masya
90s
Allah,
actually.
ya Allah. Prof,
Alhamdulillah. Great,
good
great.
job, Prof. Ya, mabruk, Prof. Masya Allah. Ya. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.